guys, it's Michelle here and welcome to the Vlog channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please click that subscribe button and join the fam bam. But other than that, I want to talk about online classes and the 5 truths about online classes. I think this is super important for me because at this point I've taken statistics, business communications, and I'm also taking a full load online this summer. So I think it's really important for me to communicate the truth about online classes. I think I get a lot of misconceptions about it. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this video. Something that I get a lot is that online classes are easy, and that is not the truth. The truth is that online classes are not easy. They are super difficult. If anything, you do a lot more reading in online classes than anything because it is a self-taught class. I remember in statistics, I was doing all of the reading by myself. I basically self-taught myself statistics, but you learn a lot more in online classes and you're more likely to succeed. And you know, they do say that online classes have a higher percentage in success and higher grades because of how much reading that they do over, you know, maybe in-person classes. You rely more on textbooks and facts, I think, in online classes. So it is not easy. Do not think that. Go in knowing that you're probably going to work a lot more than in-person classes. Not true about online classes that you will never talk to your classmates, and that is completely not true. In online classes, you have the opportunity to create virtual teams, and you can create them in Google Docs or using GroupMe. These are 2 apps that I love so much for online virtual teams, and it works out perfectly. If anything, because you guys are all kind of worried of maybe falling behind, you guys probably put in more effort than you would in person, and that's just from personal experience. I have no idea if that's a fact. You know, statistically, not true that you will never talk to your classmates. You will talk to your classmates, and if anything, you guys will work harder together through like virtual teams, and you guys can form them online, but it's up to you to do so. So just make sure you're on top of it. Another misconception about online classes is that everything should be online, and I think this is completely false. I think you should be meeting up with people in person as well for resources, especially for things like accounting and economics. You need to find an in-person tutor, and if not, you need at least like a physical textbook or notebook to really write down things and really work on problems. It's not just all online. You're gonna have to make your way into the physical world of using what you have used your resources online and print them out, you know, in paper, or read your textbook in paper. This is just covering the fact that not everything's going to be online. You're going to need to use other resources like going to your campus and you're using your textbook for extra reference. And it's better to have those things ready with you rather than just assuming that you're going to do everything online and you're going to find all the help online. I mean, it's a good start, but really consider looking into in-person tutors and in-person discussions. I think that will be solid and key to your success overall in online classes. Another thing that I've heard a lot is that you will never talk to your professor or they're really hard to be reached, and that is simply not true. You have access to your professor, if anything, more in an online class because they really do need to be available to online students almost 24/7, and they usually provide a separate email for those students, and they're really active in participating in those discussions. A lot of teachers are more present in an online environment than an in-person environment, and I think it's also from that lack of knowing if the other, you know, person on the other end is actually receiving that information. So being on top of it with your students is super essential, and online classes is really a new thing for, I think, colleges nowadays, and especially for me. I think it still hasn't been something where people are really relying on it, but you know, you have to work with the professor, and you won't see them, but you will hear from them eventually. So don't think that just because you're taking an online class, they're really not there. So that is another thing with the online classes. Another truth about online classes is that you can start now. You can start writing now and not have anyone distracting you. You don't have to worry about that person talking in the back of the room and, you know, interrupting the whole class or asking super irrelevant questions. You can really just start now and move forward. Once you get a concept, move forward and keep going and going. It's unlimited the amount of information that you can, you know, process already on your own in an online class versus an in-person. There's a lot of stops in between, you know, really getting that information from your professor. There's questions, there's irrelevant things that you probably already know, and so your mind is kind of stopping in those moments and not really just going continually. And in an online class, you're just always learning and always getting better, and it doesn't matter if you're ahead of people or not ahead of people, you're just always advancing. For me, if you're giving it your all in an online class, you will succeed, because if you're giving it your all and you're just kind of always learning and always reading, there's no way that your mind is not processing that information. There's just no way, and you have no distractions, nothing. So you can start now and get her done, people. Get her done, get her done. So these are my 5 truths about online classes. This is from personal experience. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, people. The subscribe button's right there. And I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye bye.